Hello and welcome to a Talmud Israeli production. Today we'll review the highlights of this week's course of Daf Yomi study, Masechet Nazir, pages 34 through 40. Lamed Daled, 34. Mishnah Rishona Omeret, the earlier version of the Mishnah said, Ad she'ishter revi'it yain, that the Nazir is not going to be obligated to bring a sacrificial offering for having violated his term of Nazirut, unless he drinks a revi'it, a quarter log of wine. Rabbi Akiva Omer, afilu shava pito beyain, v'yesh ba kadei letzaref b'chazayit chayev. Rabbi Akiva said, no, it's not necessary to drink a full revi'it of wine. Rather, it is sufficient even if you dip your bread in a little bit of wine, and the total amount is a kazayit, you're already liable for violating your Nazirut term. According to Rabbi Akiva, heter mitztaref le'isur, that heter, the permitted item, namely the bread, combines mitzdaref le'isur with the forbidden item, the wine, to make the requisite measure, the shiur. Now we go to Lamed Hey 35. Amar Rabbi Abahu, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Kol isur m'sheba Torah, all the prohibitions in the Torah, ein heter mitzdaref le'isur. In general, the rule is that permitted items do not combine with the forbidden item to make the requisite threshold. Chutz, with the exception of Isrei Nazir, those prohibited on account of Nazirut vows. Sharei Nemar Mishrat, because it says in the Torah concerning wine products, Mishrat, infused. V'chol Mishrat anavim lo yishteh. So this means that even if a permitted food item is infused with a prohibited food item, namely some type of grape product, the total package will be reckoned to form the measurement, the shiur. Lamed Vav, 36. Kutach habavli. Kutach habavli is a classic Talmudic era condiment which was made out of whey or milk product and crumbs of bread. Leka kezayit chametz b'chadel pras. You're never going to have a situation where there is a kezayit of chametz on Pesach that is eaten in the time it takes to have a achilat pras, which is about 9 minutes. And so therefore guilt, liability for eating kutach habavli on Pesach is extraordinarily unlikely. If you were to gulp it down so that you'd have a lot of the chametz product, which is infested in the kutach, in a quick time frame, that doesn't matter because you did something bizarre, weird. People don't gulp kutach habavli, so your act of consumption is not reckoned as a legitimate act of consumption. It's disregarded as crazy. And if you were to eat it in the normal fashion, you're never going to consume an amount of bread product, chametz product, in the time it takes of kedel achilas pras, because the bulk of the kutach, first of all, it's only a condiment, and most of it is whey, not bread, so therefore, you're never going to come across a prohibition. Lamed Zayin. Tanya. Anything which is made from the grape of the vine, we see that the various types of prohibited grape products can combine one with another, whether it's the skins or the pulp or the seeds or the wine, whatever it might be, fresh grapes, dry grapes, whatever it might be that is a grape product, it can combine with other grape products to satisfy the required minimum amount. Rabbi Akiva, but wait a second, why is it necessary for the Torah to tell us this, according to Rabbi Akiva? After all, Rabbi Akiva held that even permitted food items, if they're infused with grape product, are reckoned as part of the measurement. So of course, if I'm going to combine one grape type with another grape type, of course it's going to combine. The Torah didn't need to tell me that. So the answer is the Torah does need to tell us that, because there's a difference between Isur mitzdaref leheter and Isur mitzdaref leisur. In the case of Isur mitzdaref leheter, it's only true if you eat it bevat achat, in one fell swoop. Together, the permitted and the forbidden combine together. However, when we have two different types of forbidden item, two different types of grape product, it's going to combine to make the measurement, even if you do not eat them together, but rather one after another. Zeh achar zeh. Lamed Chet, 38. Tana Rabbanan. Vanavim lachim v'veishim lo yochel. Don't eat the dry grapes, the wet grapes, the fresh grapes. So you could be liable for each one independently, the fresh grapes and the raisins. So we'll extrapolate from here for all the prohibitions of the Torah. Just as here, there's only one item, but they have two different names, fresh and dry. You can be liable for each one independently, two separate liabilities. So whenever you have one species, but two different names for different subsets of the species, you'll be liable for each one independently. And what's an example? Chamra, charata, v'invi. Fresh wine, like grape juice, and grapes are two separate things. You can have two separate liabilities. Lamed Tet, 39. Stam Nazirat Lamed Yom. The classic case of Nazirut, the term is 30 days. If you don't specify how long, that's how long it's going to be. What if he shaved during that time frame, or bandits shaved him? So Lamed Yom, he forfeits whatever he was accumulating in terms of time served, and will have to redo his 30 days. Nazir shegilech ben bezug ben betar, or shesifse kol shu chayev, and a Nazir who cuts the hair of his head, whether with a zug, scissors, tar, a blade, or plucks the hairs out, however you did it, liable, guilty, kolshu. Mem, 40. Tanya, you're not allowed to shave the corners of your beard. You might have thought that even if you use scissors, that you'll be guilty. Talmud lomar lo tashchit. No, it has to be destructive, and the scissors are not destructive. Or you use other types of not so intrusive mechanisms or apparatuses. No, only if you shave the corner of your beard. It has to be a shaving which is destructive. Only with a blade. A real blade, that's what causes liability for shaving of the beard, but other mechanisms which were not going to get to the skin as much as a blade will, then there is no Torah liability in those instances. Everyone have a great week.